Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to a video I'd like to call What Do I Build Next? Or Overcoming Builder's Block. We've all been there. We build something really awesome, and we get done building it, and then we go, now what? What do I want to build next? And that can be a real struggle for some folks. I know it is for me sometimes, because you want to get back into that groove. You want to feel that fun and sense of achievement that comes with building something neat in Minecraft. But you want to make sure that it's something that's worth building. So what I want to do in this video is give you some basic ideas for creativity. I've been a creative person for as long as I can remember, and it doesn't happen by accident. It really has been a matter of finding tools and honing those tools and learning new things that can help me be more creative. So I'm going to share those with you in the realm of Minecraft. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is building what you love. If you take a look at this submarine, this is definitely built on something I love. I think boomers, which is what they call nuclear submarines, are really, really cool. So I wanted to build one for myself. This is a 1-to-1 scale Ohio-class nuclear submarine. I named it the USS Veljorn, which is named after my main character, Rack Veljorn, and I took the time to really make it worth my love. It has a full interior, it's the right length, the right design. Now, is it perfect? No, but it is pretty dang cool. I also built this hedge maze, and the reason I built this is because one of my favorite movies is The Shining. And in The Shining, there's this incredible hedge maze that becomes real pivotal in the story. But I always thought, wouldn't it be cool in Minecraft to have a hedge maze that is exactly like that one that I could walk through and get lost in and all those other things. And as you can see, this turned out really cool, and I definitely can get lost in it. Is it something I would want to build again? Maybe not, but it was cool to build the first time. It gets a little confusing after having to figure out where those walls go and the like. So my first tip to you is build what you love. Build what you think is cool. Now the second one is to find a common object and build it. Now if you look at this example, it's simply a table. I was stuck, I didn't know what to build, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table. And I think, I'm going to build a table. Maybe something will come to me as I'm building this stupid giant table. And you know what? Things came to me. I ended up turning my base into a table. No, wait, it's the other way around. I turned my table into a base. So that's really cool. My base is actually located at the top of the table. Now, beyond that, I also came up with the idea of building a model railroad. So that's on top of the table. So it's a table with a model railroad with my base inside. It's one of the coolest builds I've ever done, and it just comes from starting with a common object. Now, the third idea is to build organically. In other words, simply start something and let it grow, let it build. Just start building and see what happens. That's what happened with this spleef arena. I built this spleef arena, and I just kind of started with a rough idea. And then I let it grow and build, and I changed it here and I changed it there, and then I started to imagine what it would be like in the real world. Then I added some command blocks and I did this, and it turned out really cool. So what that comes down to is letting something grow, letting something come about organically. Now the fourth one I've got here is to improve upon a previous design. Now take for example this shooting gallery. I had built a shooting gallery that was much, much smaller than this one, and I improved upon the design to make it a lot better. So I had originally a shooting gallery, which was great, but I wanted something better. And you can always improve upon an old design and come up with something that's even greater. Now the next one I've got here is build the gotta-haves first, and then work on the nice-to-haves. Now this isn't a total rule. You don't have to always build the gotta-haves and then finally build the nice-to-haves. What I'm saying here is if you can't figure out what to build, just build some of the stuff that you need, like roads or roads or roads. Do you get the idea? Roads are a good thing to build. A lot of times when I get stuck, I'll just start building roads. And roads are a good way to just get the mental juices flowing and come up with some new ideas. All right, now number 6 is to let landforms dictate your build. Now, if you take a look at this cliff dwelling I did, I took a look at the landform that was there. I said, that's pretty cool. I like the indentation in that cliff. And then I just started thinking, how could I build to that cliff? How could I make it a cool landform and not destroy the landform in the process of making a building? And this is what I came up with. It basically is built into the alcove of this cliff, and it ended up being a really cool build. Number 7, I'm sorry, research some cool redstone gizmos and then build around one. Now I've got this portal puzzle, which means in order to get into the end portal, you have to solve this puzzle. And it's really cool because the gates into the puzzle are open. You walk into the puzzle and you can't go any further towards the portal until you solve the puzzle. And the way the puzzle works is you put a redstone torch on one spot, it opens up the gates down into the portal, but it closes the gate out of the puzzle area. So you have to unsolve the puzzle to get back out again. It's really cool, and a lot of people have complimented the way it works. But the way it started out was an idea I had for a redstone gizmo, and I built it into something cool. So definitely find a redstone gizmo, then build around it. Next up is indeed number 8, is think big, but start small. Now here's a good example. In one of my other series, I am doing Hexit, the mod pack. And one of the things that Hexit is overwhelming. There's just so much stuff to learn and to do and to see. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't get overwhelmed by building my first house. So what I did is started small. I found this little tiny battle tower and I made it my first home. And now what I've been doing is building a new home after that. So I started small and I grew from there. You don't have to grow big right off the bat. Grow small and then grow bigger. All right, now number 9, play with ideas in your mind. There's no rush. I talked a little bit before about the model railroad. We can look a little closer at that and you'll see that it was something that just came from playing with things in my mind. I looked at that table and I said, what would be a cool thing to put on that table? An aquarium? No, that didn't work so good. I found some real problems with trying to build a huge aquarium. But then I thought about a model railroad, and I built a model railroad, which turned out really awesome. So play with those ideas in your mind and see what you can come up with. Number 10, build something familiar. Now here's a good example. This is a swim pool, and this swim pool is built almost identical to the swim pool that I and my children play at during the summer. So what I did is I took a look around that swim pool, said, hey, this would be cool to build, and I built it, which was really neat to be able to go to the swim pool in the game and have that reminder of a real-world swim pool. Number 11, mimic a real-world structure. Now this is something a little bit different than what I mean by building something that you're familiar with. What this is imagine that you can build anything and then start looking at things that are really cool and real-world objects, like the Taj Mahal or the Eiffel Tower. Now those have all been built, but one of the things that I did was this art museum modeled after the Louvre. Now the Louvre got this huge pyramid, and I thought, okay, I don't want to build that big, but it would be cool to have pyramids that are all different colors and it'd be an art museum, so that's what I did, and I ended up with this. Moving right along, we've got number 12, build basics like roads until the ideas come. Now I talked about that before where I said build roads, build roads, build roads, but there are a lot of basic things you can build just to wait until those ideas come along. There are not only gotta-haves, they're things that you want to include into your builds, but they're also something that are kind of mind-numbing and that will just let the ideas flow out. Number 13 is to combine styles into something new. Now what I've done before is built nether hubs. Nether hubs are cool, but I'd never really built with flame before. All right? So what I did in this nether hub is I built with flame. If you look at each of the tunnels, they've got flames on both sides. Flame became kind of the theme overall. The carpet has got flame colors in it. Everything is flame or charcoal-y or burnt looking. And that was the theme that I brought together. And it was multiple themes all combined into one big nether hub. Number 14 is pick a theme and build to it. Now, the nether hub here is themed around the Parthenon. Now, the Parthenon, if you don't know, is a Greek structure that existed hundreds of years, thousands of years ago, thousands probably, and it was all this white stone. And I wanted a nether hub that kind of felt like that. I thought, what a juxtaposition of this fire and this darkness and all of that to put this beautiful white building in the middle of the nether. So I built this. Now, I've got to admit, I built this in creative. We let me off of the survival mode on this server and shifted over to creative so that I could build out of quartz. And it ended up turning out awesome. So definitely try to find a theme and build to that theme. And combine some styles that you maybe hadn't thought of and pull that all together and you can create some awesome things. Number 15, look at what's needed. Now, nether hubs are a great example. Almost all servers have a nether hub of some sort. So see if that's needed and build to that. Just volunteer and say, hey, I'm going to build a nether hub and build it. Or you can do things like this bridge. This bridge was needed. We had to get out from the main village out to this island nearby. So we needed a bridge, so I built it. And another good example is one of my favorite builds ever, and that's this teleport hub. Now, we needed a teleport hub on one of the servers instead of a nether hub. Now, we decided to do that just because it was new and different. Well, I had never built a teleport hub before, and I'd always wanted to build something like a space station. So I thought, hey, we need this. I've always wanted to build something like a space station. So I put it together, and this is what I came up with. Now, a friend of mine, Grace, did the decorating on the inside, but the basic concept was mine, and it was there because it needed to be. So that's about it. 15 different tips to get your creative juices flowing so that you're not stuck going, oh, what am I going to build next? So if you liked what you saw today, leave a comment, leave a like, or subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself, especially if you didn't like the way I talked. Don't tell me about it, okay? Keep that to yourself, too. And good luck with your building. I hope that I've been able to break up some of those brick walls that you're suffering. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.